Good morning, Lombard! Yay! Welcome to our celebration of the new Helen Plum Library groundbreaking. And thank you very much to Nostalgia Entertainment, to Matt and Cynthia for that beautiful rendition. Today is all about thanking all of you. Thanking those who have made this day possible. But first, how about a big shout out to Mother Nature for this beautiful day? Yeah! And I would be remiss if I didn't also give a shout out to all the scientists and researchers who made it possible with the vaccine to have us all gather here in a group today. But most important, thank you to the Lombard community for your support of this project, for passing a successful referendum to fund the project, and encouraging us all along these past many years. So on behalf of Helen Plum, let's give everybody else a hand. Of course, a ceremony like this would not be complete without comments from our local officials, and we'll get to them. But I'd like to first thank our construction team, Ingrid Anderson, our architects, who we've worked with for hours and hours and months and years to finally come to this beautiful design, and who also are sponsors of this event. And to Frederick Quinn, who will serve as our construction management company and will oversee this project, babysit it all the way through, and who also provided all the refreshments today for us. So thanks so much to them. They have taught us the difference between bar joists and beams, right, Claudia? And by the way, the cookies are from Lilac Bakery. Look, shop local. And finally, I'd like to express gratitude to someone whose wisdom and steady hand has guided us safely through the pandemic while overseeing all aspects of this project. She's led the complicated financing portion of this. She's also welcomed 3 brand new trustees, and she's operated with grace during this time the operations of the library. So please join me in expressing my thanks to Interim Executive Director Claudia Crosby. Yay!
Sue's our Director of Strategic Communications and Marketing. I just said that title's a mouthful, but the job is a handful, and we appreciate everything she does. Sue's passion for making this project a reality for the Lombard community has been her hallmark. She's been an essential part of this journey to this day, from the referendum planning stages, hours and hours of work. Speaking of brilliant minds, we appreciate it, through the ongoing coordination of the community updates, both in person and virtual. Also, Sue's overseen that recent time-lapse video that you might have seen at the start of the demolition. If you haven't seen it, check out a link on our website or blog and take a look. As the clouds clear, it's time-lapse fast motion, but the clouds just sweep away and the sky turns beautiful blue, and I'm hoping that that's an omen for all of us in this project. Sue, thank you. And as a reminder, you will need a hard hat for these weekly on-site meetings that we'll be having. And next, I'd like to acknowledge the admin team and the Helen Plum staff. I want to collectively thank the Plum Library staff, our management team, for the enthusiasm, the dedication, the energy they have demonstrated in listening to our patrons, discerning community needs, and working with our design team to create spaces in our new library that will serve the Lombard community for many years to come. Take a look at some of that creativity over in the boards when you have a minute, if you haven't done so already. And I'm going to take just a minute and introduce the managers that are here. If you could raise your hand or move so someone can see you. Ann Luzanecki was most recently our youth services manager. She now has, stand up and step forward. She now has the position of assistant director. And Ann's right here in Lombard. We're so appreciative. Michelle Kilty. Michelle Kilty is our adult services manager. She's been with us through this project. Phil Lucas, where are you, Phil? Phil is our facilities manager, and I don't know if any of you have seen tours of the library pre-referendum. Phil's handled all that old equipment, and he is one that is super excited about the new technology that's going to help us run this new building and bringing some of his skills to bear on that. Thank you. Michelle Peterson. Michelle is our Patron Services Manager, and for those of you that maybe don't know what Patron Services is, when you walk into the library at the front, that team that helps you check out, get your library card, renew your library card, pick up an interlibrary loan, that's a part of Michelle's team, and we're grateful. Alex Vancina. Alex needs two hard hats because he does our IT work and he's also manager of our technical services department. Absolutely invaluable and extraordinarily knowledgeable. So thank you, team. I want to give a shout out to two managers who couldn't be here today. Michelle Bauman is our business office manager, and Christy Leslie, I'm going to let that pass. Christy Leslie is our marketing manager, and when you look at some of the amazing graphics, some of the planning that's done, our Gazette, that's coming out of our marketing department. So we so appreciate everything she's done to make this day happen. And I think just a mention, we've had the wonderful professional advice of our lawyer, Roger Ritzman, and Howard Metz on this journey, and extraordinary financial advice from Jamie Racklin. So some of whom are here today. I saw Roger. Jamie was due to be, he couldn't make it, but we appreciate everything they have done. And then on behalf of the library staff, I also want to express our gratitude for the time and service our library trustees have provided to make this groundbreaking day a reality. And to thank in advance our newly elected trustees for the commitment of time and service they will be contributing as our building project moves forward. Their hours, and I have to say there will be many, are given on a volunteer basis, and thank you. I think later on you'll get introduced to them by name, but for now it's our staff thank you and acknowledgement because we appreciate everything you have done on our behalf. And I'm going to be turning the microphone over here to Jason Brandt. Jason has served as a library trustee for 10 years, most recently as our board president for 4 years. We appreciate his leadership and patience through the detours of this building project, as well as over the past year, his support in helping us navigate the challenges we faced in adapting library services during the pandemic phases in Illinois. Jason's calm and measured approach, along with his characteristic ability to listen before speaking, has been a great benefit to those of us who have worked with him. Jason, your contribution to this project has been significant. Please be sure to wear your hard hat when you come by to see the construction progress. I'm done.
And there's a lot of folks I wanted to thank, so my role here was to really thank all my peers on the board over the number of years to help us get to this point. The first person I wanted to thank is Virginia Carlson. She's been on the board, I think, for about 16 years now. She's had a lot of different roles on the board, including being president for 6 years, and really helped us get through this point through the referendum and to that period of time. She's been a great counsel for me during this time, during my presidency on this piece of it, as well as I think she just about knows everybody in Lombard as well. So thank you so much. Second person is John Larkin. So John has been on the board with me for 10 years. He has been a great partner with me over that period of time. He's been the vice president for the last 4 years. And John's background in building construction and building management has really been a help to the board and in turn the community to get to this project to this period of time. I don't think John was able to join us today, so I will say a quick John story since he isn't here. So, I'd say a little over 10 years ago, I was having dinner over at John's house, and when somebody was flipping through the channels, and it happened to come up to the normal village meetings that are recorded on the channel. So we started talking about community involvement, and either of us ever have interest in serving on something like that. And we were talking about, I really don't have any background experience in the school board, so that one wouldn't be of, I felt I had anything to contribute there. And it wasn't that long after all the drama with the theater and all that, I was like, probably the village board, that's a little bit too much drama that I want to be involved with. But, the library is something I'm interested in, and if there's anything I can do to help move that book drop from its current location and make it a little bit more convenient, I'd like to get involved with that. So, John, by chance, John happened to know the director at the time, Bob Harris, so we went in there and talked with him. And he said, by chance, we have an election coming up in about 6 weeks, and there's only 2 people running for 4 open positions. So we talked about it and said, we'd be interested. So we did a little, very small write-in contribution, and we both were able to get written in and joined the board 10 years ago, and up to this point here. So it's been a great time serving with John. I really appreciate his partnership. Next person I wanted to call out is Gary Brennerman. So Gary was on the board with us about 14 years. He ended his stay 2 years ago during that time, but he was involved in a lot of different parts through the referendum and through some of the negotiations to get us up to this point. And he was always a very steadfast voice on the board here, pushing us forward to make our decisions. So I really thank Gary for his guidance too on this period of time. Gary, if you want to come up and get your hard hat, so when you walk by the neighborhood.
Come by and visit us. We're under construction.
So those are all the folks on the board that kind of the past board. So I also want to thank folks that are on the board today and moving forward to get this project over the line. The first is Ken Marshall. So Ken has been on the board for 2 years now. And he came on at kind of an interesting time in the library while we were working through this project. So where no one else was actually volunteering to come in to join the board, but Ken has been an advocate for the library for a number of years, and stood up and joined the board during that time. And Ken's background as being a lawyer has really helped us out through a number of times over the last 2 years, looking through contracts and items like that. And I'm sure Ken's going to be helpful with the board going forward. And just last week, he has been elected to be our vice president going forward. So Ken, thank you very much. Next is Kristen Armistead Walsh. So Kristen has been on the board for 6 years now. She's had a number of different roles, being leading our Director Relations Committee. She's been secretary, and now she's just been elected to be treasurer going forward. So she's had a number of roles. Her background is in communications, and we have leaned on her many times over the past several years, and she's kind of been my right-hand person through a number of different times through this event, and I just really appreciate Kristen's work and effort over this period of time. Thank you, Kristen. Next is Sue Wiggins. So Sue has been on the board, I think, for about 16 years plus now. I would almost call her, is it 20 now? 20 years. So I would call Sue kind of our institution on the board. Sue Institution Wiggins. I can't even list off all the different committees and roles she's held over that period of time. She has been one of our tacit feedbacks on the board as we go through and make all of our great decisions. And she just got renewed up for another 4 years, so I know the board's going to appreciate her background and experience and tenure on the board to help bring this product to the end. And last but certainly not least is Allison Pickett Floyd. So Allison's been on the board now for 6 years. She's been our treasurer. She's also been leading our policy committee, which job is to review all the dozens and dozens of policies that the library has every 2 years to make sure those are in shape. So you can imagine that's about as exciting as it sounds. But she has done a great job doing all that work. And I just really appreciate her pragmatic leadership on the board over this time. And I know she just last week has been elected to be our new president to help lead the board and this whole project through to the finish line. So Allison, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here, and what an exciting moment for Lombard's community. Yes, I am the newly elected board president, a job I wasn't anticipating, but here I am. So my first official act is to welcome and introduce our new trustees, Julie Kowalski-Schmidt, Jennifer Erickson, and Kellyanne Sims. Give those our hands. This board will have the honor of guiding this project to opening day. I'd like to echo Jason's thanks to the previous and outgoing board members that were dedicated to this project for more than 4 years. They remained focused for so many years on bringing a first-rate library to this community. Special thanks to our former presidents, Ginny Carlson and Jason Brandt, for their leadership over the course of this project. We would not be here without you. To Claudia Krausby, Sue Wilsey, and the Helen Plum team, thank you for all that you do, for your creative input into this project. The Helen Plum team has devoted years to the planning of this new facility with our architects and construction teams. Now, add to that a pandemic. Imagine running the library, planning a new one virtually, while in the midst of a shutdown. You kept it all together, and you moved us forward. We appreciate the extraordinary effort that has gotten us here today. To the citizens of Lombard and the members of the community that supported the Helen Plum referendum, thank you so much. Your belief in this project is greatly appreciated. Your encouragement and your patience have sustained us. Thank you. I hope everyone will take some time to look at the diagrams and the building plans. Our architects have designed an outstanding facility. It includes meeting spaces, study rooms, a dedicated teen space, a separate and distinct adults department on a separate floor that won't disturb the children's department. We want you to think of the library as a community hub. You can come and check out a book, you can sit and read a while, you can study and research, or you can just meet up with friends. There's something for everyone, and everyone is welcome. This community deserves a magnificent new library, and this day is the beginning of our next chapter to that end. We're so excited to share it all with you. We look forward to seeing everyone connect, discover, and grow at the new Helen Plum Library at the end of next year. So now let me welcome Lombard's Village Board President, Mr. Keith Gennario. Thank you.
Hey, this is awesome. I too, I'm out of practice. It's been a year since I've given a speech, let alone been outdoors with this many people. But I'm not arguing, believe me. So I'm going to have my cheat sheet going too. So thanks for making me feel comfortable. Hey, this is the most life this corner of this property's seen in years, and that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. You know, I have a great vantage point having my business right across the street, and just already seeing the progress that the library is making it's unbelievable. I look out the window and I can't believe it's actually happening. So kudos to the library, its board, its supporters, and to the village. But I would like to thank President Pickett Floyd on behalf of the Village of Lombard. Congratulations on your recent appointment as president of the library board. You're going to do a great job. And what timing, perfect timing to come in. And let me further extend that welcome to the new library board trustees and to the entire board. And I too would like to thank Jason, John, Virginia, all the trustees that were involved up until this point. I think that's so important to acknowledge them. It's a lot of hard work went into that, and it really, really did. So this is an exciting time for the Helen Plum Library, and I'm happy to mark this special day in Lombard's history. And I'm not alone. I would like to thank some of our elected representatives. We have Representative Tara Costa Howard, Representative Deb Conroy, State Senator Tom Cullerton. Did he make it? He may be driving around looking for a parking spot, but any other elected officials that I hate announcing people because I always forget them, but anyone that I forgot, my board, I know some of them are here. They're all in their purple uniforms. You can't miss them. But thank you all for coming out and celebrating. This is a day of celebration, not only for the library, but also for the village. And also, too, I was thinking on the way here, this is a perfect timing to get rid of the old, and we're building new, and we're building the community. And what a perfect example of coming out of the doldrums of the pandemic. This truly is an example of that. So again, thank you to the library. But I truly am blessed and proud to be standing here today celebrating with the library as they prepare to take this step into their next chapter. It's a step into the future and a giant step for our village as we gladly welcome this project to Main Street. Don't worry, folks, only one more page. The road traveled to get to this moment wasn't always smooth. And boy, I think all of us here know that. And it wasn't always the fastest. Well, that happens. But I believe the best course of action is the one that's navigated with caution and care so that you end up in the right destination. And standing here today, looking at these piles of cement and rubble and dirt and tractors and caterpillars all over, I know that once that new state-of-the-art building is put up and is viable and is really becoming the heart of our community, this was the right destination. This groundbreaking event is a momentous occasion for our entire community. So thank you all for coming and for being part of this memorable day. And I do look forward to continually working with the library as they redevelop this location. And I truly, on behalf of the board, Angela, the entire village, want to thank you, wish you good luck, and any help we can do to help you make this a beautiful library, let us know. Thank you again. Thanks for all coming out, and God bless Lombard.